Welcome back, folks. This is Shippy the Explorer showing you that we're on our way on an assignment on a short trip, and just want to demonstrate that we are right in front of us is East-West Highway that I showed you in the beginning of the summer, and if I keep my hand straight here, the sun in the high summer would have been right there in front of us. Now the sun is 22 degrees to the left of us, and just swing over to show you that the sun is, so the earth in relationship to the sun has moved, and today is the 2nd of November, and 2 o'clock or 12 o'clock or 1 o'clock in the morning tomorrow morning, we are required to change our clock back 1 hour. You fall back, and that will give us what that means. At this time tomorrow you will have total darkness, because this would be that means the sun will be gone down at 5 o'clock. It will be dark 5:05. The place will be dark like midnight. And if it make you so depressed, I tell you, I don't want to depress you folks. This is Shippy the Explorer on a Saturday afternoon, evening in Hyattsville, Maryland, going towards DC, Washington DC, and we're on the road on this short trip, and we're taking you with us, showing you that for the most part everything is calm and collective, but a while ago we saw some erratic driving on the street, and we should have probably taped that movement. So in a few minutes, but here we are. A lot of madness taking place today. Watch here. Nobody can't wait, and the more you can't wait is the more you have accidents on the road. Watch here again. Look here again. Look at this madness that's going on. What are you doing in the road? Seem like something is that I get the impression that sometimes I think COVID has affected this the population of this world to a certain extent, because after COVID I see some madness that's going on, folks. Or it's the fact that in the United States we have the smoking of marijuana.
Glassford Gordon, our boa, Mr. Gordon.
Okay, a call coming in. I just called it by a mistake. Yes, it was just I was trying to see what called my brother-in-law, and testing the WhatsApp. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Good. So we're okay. Remember what we were talking about today? We were going to talk about yes, the effects of COVID, folks. We're talking about COVID, but I also think maybe the fact that the law has changed, the state law has changed in Maryland, that people are allowed to smoke the ganja freely without being arrested. I think a lot more people are smoking the marijuana or ganja or reefer or whatever you want to call it, and I think it's affecting people's ability to have a steady judgment. So they smoke the marijuana in the car. A lot of times you pass the vehicle, or you're behind a vehicle and you're smothered with smoke, folks. And it's this marijuana is, look at this one running on the sidewalk. Look here, another madness. Oh Lord, what's going on? It's if I was a police, I would be making a lot of money today, giving tickets left and right in this society. So I think that's what's happening. I think they're being affected by maybe drugs or this virus or whatever you call COVID, and just erratic madness on the street. As we make ourselves make our way to Washington DC, we'll just obey the law and be careful and make sure we are okay. We're passing the electrical station, electrical power transfer station, and here we are. Friday, we have the southern type of cooking, soul food cooking. I'll tell you, I shouldn't have had that thing. Water. It's affecting me now badly. That's it. So right at this moment, we are right in Maryland, and in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you see the sign say welcome to Washington DC. That means we have crossed the border into Washington, which Washington wants to be a state, the 51st state in the United States. And the federal government, especially the senators, are giving them a whooping. They're not allowing it because Washington DC has maybe 700 and something thousand people, and if you give a small district like that the ability to be a state, you have to follow the next law of allowing them 2 senators, and that means at that point Washington would be a powerful small little place, and the senators on a whole, especially some on one side, they don't want that happen because they don't want Washington to exercise that power. So that's one of the things that Washington DC has not been able to grant. Haven't been granted the statehood status. They're still being controlled by the federal government to a certain extent. They have a mayor and they have the council, DC council, but anytime the federal government think that the local government of Washington DC is not operating properly, the federal government can step in and take control. So that's a history civic lesson for you folks. So now we're in Washington DC, and We're boogieing our way down into town. If you look at some of the, if I see a Washington DC car license plate, maybe you'll see on it, it says representation, taxation without representation. That's a matter of protesting that the people are paying federal tax and don't have any representative in government, and that explains it. The 700 and something thousand people, or maybe close to 1 million people now, they only can vote for president. They don't have senatorial power. There are no representative for them. What is the call? We call the only representative. What's the name? Miss Shadow Senator Willom. What's her name again?
I remember her
Yeah.
name.
There's one lady that has been operating as
Ages.
shadow senator for ever since. I don't even think she has full voting rights. The politics of this country is complex, intricate, and overlapping, folks.
Okay, man, too much politics now.
Yeah. Well, at least this is Washington, D.C., parts of it, the upper part, and it looks a little bit calmer than what we saw taking place in Maryland a few minutes ago. Folks in the city looks a little bit more relaxed. Look at that Halloween house. Oh my God. Oh. You smell the marijuana? Huh? Gee. Gone with it. Some expensive tires on a Honda. And we never have to tape it.
I'll let the GoPro pick it up.
GoPro probably pick up. Yes, probably pick up. You may have seen that the GoPro might have picked up a car on the left in the screen without tires, folks, and that's an indication that the tires were stolen. Somebody came in and jacked up the car and took off all four tires. And if I had seen it, I would have probably pointed out better. But that happens a lot of time in this country, maybe all over the world. Who knows? So they see this is the gentrification that's taking place. So somebody come in with more money, buy these older buildings, and you can see that this one, and the seats are back on the market. So they fix it up,
Slow down.
fix it up, and then it's back on the market. That's they call it, what do they call it again?
You say gentrification.
No, the gentrification where the people come and live. But when you buy the property and spinning, no, what's the name for it? Flipping. There's a term in America, it's called flipping. You come in and buy an older, maybe not even older, but sometimes a run-down, dilapidated building, and you come in, paint the house, repaint the house a lot of times.
Oh, yeah, right over there.
You just have to wait. It's paint the house, refurbish the kitchen, and put it back on the market at maybe $50,000 more than what it was bought for. So if you can sell it, you make $50,000 within 6 months. And you can do probably 2 houses at that. If you're a small operator, you can do 2 houses a year like that. And it's an income. You end up making $100,000 US as a part-time thing. Some people do it as a full-time basis, but a lot of times it's a part-time thing. And if you can even make 50,000 extra as on top of your pay and other income, then it's money coming in. You're free to do all those things in the country. The whole idea is to survive and to make a profit, extra profit if you can. So right now we're at deeper in the city. We're at Georgia Avenue. Georgia Avenue, as I told you before, it's the same as 7th Street. And look at this. About 4 years ago, this building over here was a small 3-story building, and they took down that old building, and now it's what, 5-6 stories, multi-complex. Really, today we are taking you through Washington on a short trip through Washington, D.C. I won't be able to show the White House or anything today. We're just showing you the residential area of this city and what it looks like on a Saturday afternoon. Their dog ready to go walk. What are we gonna do with our dog? And there you are. Also, a lot of places are being converted to houses. You buy the house, and the ground floor is converted to a little pizzeria and bar. And they get the license to sell beer and wine. And this corner is, this one over here was the first one in this area. And as you see, they're being supported by the yuppie. Even over here look like it's a dining room. They finally finished this one. Must be having dinner. And it look like a restaurant. It's a snowshoe walk. I will burn it up in the ear like, let's tell you. We can just, when was Halloween? On Thursday? Thursday?
Yeah.
Thursday, right? Yeah. I can just imagine how DC was hustle and bustle with the ghosts and goblins. We had some incident of crime too. dog. Now that's a question, folks. Do you think people should love their dog more than how they love their fellow citizens? Okay. I don't think so, but it seems like it happens in a lot of countries, especially United States. The dogs are treated better than human beings. That's the thing with my man, him not stop talking when him running the tape, you know. It's just keep on talking him. That's his ability to keep going. So you don't get that slowness in the taping. Well, DC's doing better. You can see with this in terms of the stoplights not being blocked by trees. As I said before, when I just came to this country about 40 years ago, these stop signs and stoplights were sometimes blocked by limbs, and you would be flying through this intersection like crazy. And lucky we never have accidents. We didn't have accidents in those days. Here we are. It's a church in the middle of the community. It's one is celebrating 146 years from 1878. My golly, this church has been sitting at that corner. Young people, they have the fix up them place, and then I tell you, this was a massive building that got renovated, and it seems like if you need a house in Washington DC, you better bring your millions of dollars, folks. 30 years ago, some of these buildings were just going for $150,000, and now any one of these you touch, even if it's run down or anything like that, they're going for 900 and something thousand to $1.2 million, and in some cases $1.5 million. And this is 14th Street, I think. Yes, this is 13th Street. And if you go into 14th Street and you go to 15th or 16th Street, by the time you reach 16th Street, the same house over there is probably going for $2 million. At this point, you can see, I always try to show you, you look in the far end, that's Washington DC, the tower, straight ahead, the whole post office, and that's where somebody famous used to home. And this is right. See if we can find a spot in this miserable town. I'm just gonna park right here. Let's see if we can. What? Okay. We're gonna park over there. This no belong to him. Okay.
So that's where you're parking.
Yeah, we're parking at the corner right over there.
Okay. Okay, okay.
And
You're not turning it off.
you want to keep this just in case. Yeah. All right. So.
Watch yourself.
Yeah.
You're not turning off the GoPro?
No, I'm gonna show that I park illegally. Not really illegally, but we're gonna have to run quickly. And that's DC. You can't find any park, folks. But here we go. Last time I parked over there, and the guy taped something right in my face on my windshield. So there we are. So we have reached our destination, and we're gonna do business, and we'll talk to you soon, folks. Right here, so, and then put this the pool house. Just like here, this empty spot. And how they get that authorization? There must be a loophole that they realized that maybe years ago there was a building there. Man downstairs, comfortable with his baby. Really raise that little pitney. Raising, looking after. I know space just good enough for them. And look how many of them down here. 3 people. But she's doing a good job though. That little baby. Forget the name of it. I got through. The name of the baby, the girl, I say it. How does it called? Baby's hit. Well, we have done our transaction. Oh boy, dark already. Done our business transaction and Shipping Explorer. We're back on the path home. And as you can see, it's getting dark. Dark and darker. And that's an indication that a lot of people on the road now. Some people looking dinner. Some people looking drinks, bar, Red Rocks. The whole thing is converted to a bar. And look how they're enjoying themselves. Grabbing a bite to eat.
And drink.
And drink. That's the yuppie style. Some of these young people, they make some good money. So they don't cook. And they just come out and have a good time on the town. But it helps the economy though. It helps. Really, you know, if you come out and spend like that, the money revolves. If you've ever been to Washington DC, this is Sherman Avenue, and 1 block over from Howard University, I think. And it's a residential area. There we go. Sherman and Park Avenue. So some history, folks. You remember that United States was first, for a European country, was first settled by the British people, and for Washington D.C., the bread material you see in the on the buildings is basically clay bricks, not blocks, but bricks. I think they're about 2 inches high by 6 inches or so long. And from ever since we moved from log cabin, sometimes this GoPro, I think, because I was taping and then all of a sudden I see change to it stopped recording, and just like a flash.
You had the light on.
Yes, but all of a sudden it stopped recording and switched to I don't know what's going on, folks. The only thing I can think of is right down there where that just happened, where my GoPro went from recording to non-recording. It's a police station. So unless they have a powerful system that can block me from recording, I'm not sure if that's the case. But something did happen just a while ago. So because I was explaining the fact that we have moved from, when the pioneers came, they started building homes out of tree logs, and as they continue, they started bringing bricks, which is maybe 2.5 inches by 6 inches, to build the homes. They build them. They use those bricks to keep the weight of the to balance the weight of the ships. And when they came, they used those same bricks to build the homes. So you'll notice that the building style, the style of the homes, are similar to maybe most likely England or Great Britain to a certain extent, because that's the country was first settled by England as a European country. But first settlement was the Native American Indians, but the first Europeans that came, it was the British people. So the red in the structure, they are typical red and gray. They are typical bricks. He's gonna turn left. Oh, these people don't look like they don't know where they're going. A whole lot of madness, I'm telling you. So hopefully you're enjoying the ride out in Washington D.C. at 5:30 in the evening, where it's cool and look quiet to the most part, and most people seem to be settled in their homes. Dinner time, folks, in America. So I'll try this tape. Just apology, folks, is that Shipping Explorers tapes, they seem clouded to me, and I'm not sure what is going on with the equipment that I have. So actually this evening I was talking to a brother-in-law who is more of an expert, to see if we can solve the problem. I'm not sure if it's the GoPro, but within the GoPro, after I tape and look at the film in the GoPro, they seem fine, but when I transfer it to YouTube, they look cloudy. So I'm not sure what's going on. So bear with us until we try to solve that problem. Hopefully you're not too frustrated. Thanks for being a returning subscriber. and person who view these videos and oops I miss it again and enjoying some of the content that we are putting out. So keeping our fingers crossed and working on the problem. So we're going back north into Maryland. I think we're still in DC, Washington DC. And if you notice the structures of the houses, they're not tall, they're probably 3 stories in this region. So Washington is laid out. And there's a rule about Washington DC. The Washington Monument is the tallest structure in town, and you're not supposed to build anything higher than that. So, and most times the tall buildings in Washington DC, they only go up to 12, maybe 13 stories. They're just at the top of the Washington Monument. So that's the height they can go. But out in the suburb, Washington DC suburbs to a certain extent, these are just 1 and 2 stories high. So as the night comes down and it's getting dark, I don't want to say that I'm taking you on a romantic tour, but that's what it looks like. Driving through the city, we're rolling through the city. I wish I could use the music, some of the music that I used to use, but every time I use them, I get copyright. Although I pay for a year's subscription, I'm still getting copyright, so I'm not sure what's going on there. So I stay away from the music and just try to put out some clean tapes as much as possible. There we go, music in the background there, folks. Not my music. I don't know where it's coming from. Somebody's car. We're trying to head for the Maryland border and a ticket to the border, and that would be a nice trip into Washington DC. Into and out of Washington DC. But as you notice, the traffic is constant. People are going north to south, west to east, and east to west, and south to north, and it doesn't stop in the United States. It's a country that never sleeps. Just like how they say New York is a city that never sleeps. A group of people have something to do at any hour of the time of the day and night. If that can't even say that. But the lady's food was good. Could have stopped and buy something. Where Shippy the Explorer needs some food, folks. Not too hungry, but we like to shop and support other entities. But some of the entities, they're not producing anything great, so don't know what kind of food they're selling. So especially all right. So basically ahead of us is the border of Maryland, and I think I can say stop the tape here because I've safely taken you into Washington and back into Maryland, and that's the trip into DC, folks. Hope you've enjoyed it, and take you when the sun was shining, and in 1 hour it's night. So welcome to Maryland at this intersection, and talk to you soon. Make comments, like, share.